Hi and welcome to this week's Bitrix24 Live. My name is Andy and I'm the support manager here at Gold Partners Interface, and we're going to be here for the next hour and I can answer any questions that you may have on Bitrix. So whether you're using the cloud version or you're using the on-premise version of Bitrix, then I can answer any questions that you may have and show you on the screen. We're located in the US, the UK and in Dubai, and our contact details are on the screen. So we can offer, as Interface, we can offer premium support. We can customize Bitrix for you, we can create workflows, or if you're interested in getting a demonstration of Bitrix itself, then we can do a one-on-one screen share with you and guide you through Bitrix. So as I say, we're going to be here for the next hour and I can answer any questions that you may have. So we do have some that have already come in. If you do have questions, by the way, just put them in the box on YouTube and I can answer them, or you can email us to live@interface.com and we can pick those up throughout the week. So if you do have them during the week, then we can pick them up next week. So we're here every Thursday. It's just myself today, sometimes it's usually with Damien as well. But yeah, so we're here every Thursday at 10 AM Eastern Time. So, like I say, I can show you on the cloud version of Bitrix, and I can show you on the on-premise version of Bitrix. So, we've got a question with regards to the document side of Bitrix. So, what we're referring to when I say talk about the documents is that Bitrix comes with a document editor, so you can access documents in the leads, the deals, the company's contacts, invoices and quotes. And what essentially it allows you to do is it allows you to create a template using your Word editor, Microsoft Word, and you can pull in fields that exist from Bitrix themselves. So let's go into a good example is obviously something like a quote or an invoice. So if we were to go into the invoices section here, click into an invoice that already exists, and you'll be able to see here the document tab. Now if I click on the document and click on add new templates, then you can see some pre-existing templates that already exist. If you enter this section and there are no templates, then all we'd recommend you to do is click on the little gear icon and load templates from library, and you can click on UK as we would, or click on your local location, and it will download all of the templates for that particular region. So that's what we would firstly recommend you to do. The second thing that we would recommend you to do is download one of the examples, just to give you a little bit of an understanding and feeling towards how the documents are linked to Bitrix. So if I download the quote as an example and pull it up here, so this is what the standard templates look like. So if I can maybe just zoom in a little bit, in fact I can zoom in the bottom right hand corner here. So you can see as the standard, it's not a very attractive layout in the standard template. So you can create your branded template quite easily. What we can do, let's remove that particular logo. We can click on insert, picture from file, and then if we pull in maybe a logo of your own, so we click in here, So we can bring our interface logo, we can make it a little bit smaller here. And it's as simple as that really. So you can style up. What I would generally recommend to do is try and build things in tables. So you can hide the borders of your table. So you can see here, this is a table layout. It's got 3 columns, but there are no borders on this particular table. And I think that's definitely the best way to do it, because you can structure your content within the template itself into the correct columns. Now you might be looking at the, let's say for example, quote date, and then we have a funny kind of tag here. Now these are the fields that exist inside Bitrix. So you can see it says document create time, contact person is contact formatted name, and then we can pull in the address. So how this works is if I go back into Bitrix and I'm on this particular page, and I can click on the little cog icon at the top and click into fields. And what you can see here is I'm currently in invoice, so let's click out of here and click on source is going to be quote. And let's just click on search. Now I've got the source equals quote, and essentially what that does is bring in all the available fields that exist inside a quote. And not only just the fields that exist inside a quote, the fields that may be linked to the quote. So when you generate a quote inside Bitrix, you're going to associate it to a contact, you're going to associate it to a company, and you can actually bring in fields that exist from that particular contact or company. So let's say, for example, here we have contact first name, and you can see this is the tag here that we need. So if we click on copy, then if we go back to our Word quote template here, instead what we can do is delete this, and we can just click and paste. So we paste that particular tag in, and obviously you can style it using the just with the right fonts. So we freeze it, and then we'll create the right size. And again, it's all your personal preferences with how you want this to look. So I think this is actually going to be Arial. There we go. Just make it a little bit bigger. Okay, so you can see here that we can style it however we want. And what that's going to do is when we generate this document, it's going to pull in the field contact first name into this particular section. The reason why I said for you to download an example of what a quote looks like is because you can get this already preset. So these are already filled in. So you've got a product number, product item, quantity, price, discount, VAT rate, and amount. These are already pre-filled in. You can style them to however you want them to look. But essentially what you're doing here is pulling in the fields that exist inside the quote. Now what I will do is just show you while we're in here is if we go back into the CRM and into settings, let's just open up another tab. We might want to bring in a custom field that we create. So for those of you that are new to the CRM, you can create any amount of custom fields in any of the sections. So if we click on custom fields, and we're going to add a custom field within a quote. So let's just say this is quote terms, and we'll keep that as a string. So any text and numbers, we'll keep that. Click on save. And what we can do then is we're going to go back to, once that's saved, we'll go back to the actual document section. So I just need to make sure that that saves before I do so. And if we go into here, click on add new template and click on the little gear icon at the top. and we can click on fields, click on source. What we want is to be able to see quote. Click on here, and then if we just type in quote terms, we should be able to see the custom field that I've just created here. So you can see if I copy that, we'll just click copy, go back into here, and then if we said, let's just say make that bold, and we'll say quote terms, and then we can paste that here. And it's as simple as that, really. So you can pull in any field that exists inside the quote. This is one we've just created. Click on Arial and size 10. And then let's just save this. So let's save it as, and then we'll give it a, on the desktop, new quote. Has to be saved in docx format. Click on save. And then what we can do is we'll remove the existing quote template and we'll upload our template here. So if we click new quote, so we're uploading the, what we want to do, give that a name, bind to CRM, and we're going to bind it to a quote so we can generate it in the quotes module. We could bind it to any of these elements. We'll bind it to company and contact as well. And invoice. Click on here, and there you are, quote. So what we can do, we'll go into the quote section, and we'll have a look at one of our quotes that we have created already. You can see that we want to ideally show the custom field that we've just created, quote terms. I think that will be at the bottom here. What we can do in here is we can drag it up to the blue section, which is what we would usually recommend because it's an easy tool to have. I could say days. If we click on save, and what we can do to generate the document that I've just edited, click on quote, and it's going to generate the document template that I've just created. Hopefully it will have the logo, and you can see it's pulled in the custom field here. So we've got a question, can you show me how to add a page on the self-hosted version and publish it? Yes, certainly, I can show you that in a moment. Do you play Fortnite? No, I don't. So let's have a look. So that's the documents. If you do have any questions on the documents, then please do ask and I can come back to it. So this was done in the cloud version of Bitrix. And what I can do, we now also have the on-premise version of Bitrix running as well. So one of the good things with the on-premise version is you can create custom pages. So you can build up unique and dynamic pages. So we have people that create maybe a knowledge base. So we have a knowledge base menu item on the left-hand side. And we have pages that we can just put content in. And that's what I'll do here. So I'll just create a page with maybe within the services section, and we'll add it to the top menu up here. So there's a couple of ways you can do this. There's a simple way. If you've got the control panel wizard at the top, you can click on show and you can create a page. And what that essentially will do is it will create a page within the section that you are in. So I'm in the services section. If I click on create page whilst I'm in the services section, it will create a new page within this section. Alternatively, and the way I prefer to do it is within the control panel. So if I click onto the control panel here and click into content, I'll just close a couple of these menus down, open up the Site Explorer, and then you've got files and folders. And what we need to do first, so depending on what section, I mentioned that we're going to create a page in the services section, just need to find that directory. So if we scroll down to services, and let's add a new page. So I'm in the services section, click on the green add button, add file, and we can call it Bitrix24 Live. And you can see that's automatically naming the file for this particular page. So I can copy that. So I'm going to need that to add it to the menu. And then we can essentially add any content that we want in here. So this is a WYSIWYG editor, so you can insert images, videos, style your text. If you wanted to insert your own PHP or your own HTML, there's a couple of ways to do it. You can click in the top right and click on edit, and you can edit as PHP or edit as HTML. You can also switch to the code view here. So the source code layout you can also paste in. Some of the other good things that you can do that people find useful when creating pages on the on-premise is you can already pull in pre-built modules, components. So if we scroll down, you can see there's a whole range of different components. So we might even want to bring in part of the CRM. I think we would need to go into the CRM section to do that. So we could bring in a list of all the deals if we wanted to. We could bring in the sales funnel to this specific page. And all it is a case of is clicking, dragging and dropping. So one of the ones that I've seen, especially on knowledge-based systems, is the ability to add videos to pages. So you might want to create a video library. So click on content and then into media, and then we'll bring in the media player. And you can see here, it just brings in the component. If you were to double click, it will pop it up, and you can then select the video from your local machine. Now I don't have any on here. Let me see if there is one on the server. Oh, there is. So we've got a video folder on ours. If I click on bitrix24.mp4, click on open and click on save. So if I click save now, we've got Bitrix24-live. All we need to do now is just link to it in the menu. And with it, I'm still in the services section. We go to menu type left, click on the little 3 lines next to it and menu edit. And then we can say all the ones that already exist on here. Bitrix24 live, and we can go services, paste it. I think no, I think so. Let's type in bitrix24-live.php. So that will add it. Click on save, and there's a couple of good things you can do with the menus. If you click on advanced mode in here, and then scroll right to the bottom where our Bitrix24 live is, we can actually put a condition on the menu item, so we can have the menu item only appear for a specific amount of time. We can deny users access. We can grant access for particular user groups. So there's a whole range of things you can do. If we click on, let's just click on save and come out of here and go back to the front end. So you can now see we're still in the services section. So if you just click on services just to show you clearly in the URL at the top. And now you can see the menu item is on the top page here. So if I click on Bitrix24 Live, you can see the page that I created here. I inserted the video. So if I click on play, that will then play the video on there. So that's just one example of how you would create a page and make it live on the self-hosted version. If you wanted to edit that page, again, whilst you're on the page, if you clicked on the little down arrow to show the top bar, then you can click on edit page. And you can see here, it's exactly the same layout as what we saw on the first page. So hopefully that helps. And like I say, good thing is you can start building your own menu items. So I could directly link to Bitrix24 Live simply by clicking on the gear icon and adding current page to the left menu if I wanted to. Can you also show how to add a site on self-hosted? Yeah, I can do that in a little bit, by all means. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. When adding a resource booking field to a deal template, I get an error. The custom type is invalid. Can you maybe show to add a field like that? So with regards to the resourcing, it's relatively new inside Bitrix. I might just jump back to our cloud version. And let's just go into our settings again. So I'm in the CRM. I've gone to settings. And if we go to form and report settings and then custom fields, we have in a deal, let's add a new, I'm not 100% sure if you can, yeah you can here, book a resource. So let's just call it Bitrix24 Live Booking. Click on save, and let's see if we have any issues about showing that. So if I go into a deal and just go into our list view here, and then we'll go into a website inquiry form. And if I select Bitrix24 Live Booking, so it's not coming up with an error on here at the minute, but we can see here I'm not sure about whereabouts you are getting the error, but you can see I'm adding. Click on save. And then one of the good things is with this resource booking is that you can include this on a particular public web page form. So that's another one of the questions we get quite often. Maybe with the, just if you do get the error, maybe if you just get in touch with us, I'll put our contact details up at the end. And may be able to help you try and resolve that error, just so I don't just skip that question. If we just go open up the CRM forms, and one of the good things with creating these forms, especially when you have the resource booking, is that you can, let's just say, we'll add a new form here. And what Bitrix allows you to do, it allows you to create easy and simple to fill in custom web forms. And if the person was to fill that out, then it would send the information and input it into the CRM. In our case, it's going to be a lead. So we could say in Bitrix24 Live Booking, register Bitrix24 demo. And what we can do is, I'm going to create a deal in this case, but we can see in here, Bitrix24, I have to double click on here, we can select, I think in fact we don't need to select that at the minute, but we can see in here, and one of the good things is once we make this public, they'll be able to select an employee, select a service, and then specify the date, and we'll be able to show them the available dates on here. So it's just, like I say, I won't create this form. If anybody does have any questions about CRM forms, then do get in touch. But like I said, using the resource, just wanted to touch upon it while I created that. Using the resource booking, you can basically put this on a public page. Let's click on save. Click on here. I think if we refresh, I don't know if I've just saved that or not. Yeah, we have. So if you now enable it, click on our public link, open it up in a new tab, and then it would essentially, if I just selected an employee, it would appear here, and then the person could book a session that is available for that particular employee. So it's definitely a good tool to be using. So yeah, it seems like you've been doing it right. It's just a bug, I guess. Yeah, like I say, if you do want to get in touch with us, that's absolutely fine with regards to that. One of the things before I go into the sites, what somebody's mentioned about, we do get a lot of questions, is Bitrix available on the mobile application? And yeah, and the answer to that is yes, certainly. So it's available on the iPhone and the App Store, and it's available on Android. So you can download it from the relevant store that you is for your particular phone. Now I've actually got a screen sharing on here, so let me just open up our system. So if we just go onto here, and you can see basically this is, I'm doing this on my phone while I'm showing you on screen. You can see that when you log into the Bitrix24 mobile application, you arrive at the activity stream. So this stream is essentially reflecting what you see in the main activity stream on your desktop. So you can see here, it's exactly the same in the background as it is in the foreground. And it's really handy because you can see all the latest goings on within the company. But not only that is that you can have instant messages, chats with other employees. So if I wanted to add a new one, and in fact, we'll have a conversation with Jack Smith here, and I can then have instant messages, and you can have a instant messenger chat on there. You can have group chats, so we can invite other people to the call. So if we typed in Katie, so you can see here now it's created a new group chat, and you can see the participants is going to be myself. I'm logged in as Max Smith. We've got Jack Smith and we've got Katie. We can then have a group chat in here, and which is really useful to discuss while you're on the move. And then more importantly, if you have live chat enabled on your website using one of the CRM widgets, so you can use the CRM widget to put live chat on your public facing website. So something that looks very similar to our website here. So you can see we have a live chat, and you'll be able to get access to the people in your team. And as soon as that comes through, then it's going to come through your open channels widget here. So again, you can then answer your chats on the move from your, so you can make sure those inquiries are answered. And then obviously you've got all the core modules of Bitrix on your mobile, so you can work on tasks while you're on the move. So you can see all your tasks that are on the system here. We can create filters and view those tasks. If you've got telephony enabled, then you can dial out from the mobile app without using any time on your actual cell phone. So you can dial straight out of here. And you can access all the documents on the drive, calendars, but most importantly, sorry, is the access to the CRM. So you can access all the companies that exist on your, so if I clicked into Al's Toy Barn, I can see on here all the details within here. And you can do quick searches, so if I said Bitrix24, again, I can pull in all that information from the mobile app. And it's definitely good while you're on the move. One of the other useful aspects of it is that you can generate new deals, so new opportunities on the go. We can simply click on Create Deal, and it's going to reflect the same fields that you see on here. So I could say Bitrix24 live opportunity. And we can put a location. So we do have some mandatory fields. Maybe I won't include that, but if we have, say for example, 1,000, and so on and so forth, we can fill all this in. It's pretty easy and pretty straightforward, and it is quite intuitive for the novice sales rep to just pick up and answer anything on here. So I've got a question, does the mobile app support offline functionalities? It doesn't at the minute, so you would need to have a connection. So you don't have to be connected via Wi-Fi, you can obviously connect on your local network, but yeah, you do have to be online to be using the mobile application. And then if you've got multiple, just click on switch account and you can switch between your Bitrix instances. This is quite a good one, especially if you've got, we don't have it enabled actually on the cloud, but if you do have clocking in and clocking out on Bitrix, then you can actually clock in and clock out from your mobile application, as well as log time on tasks as well. So if I wanted to go into here, click into a particular task, I can actually start the clock on here if there was one. I'm not 100% sure if there is one on here. Oh, there we go. You can see the play button. So if I click on play, you can now see time tracking 1 hour and 46 seconds, and it's counting up. So I can do the tasks while I'm on the go. That's really handy if you've got external sales reps or that have gone for meetings. They can log time on particular jobs that they've gone off site for, just simply by searching for it, clicking on time tracking, and then again clicking on start and stop. So hopefully that's quite handy to see. We do get quite a lot of questions just about the mobile application and the functionality of it. But if you do have any questions, then please do ask. Okay. So we've got a question. We've got a question, whereabouts you're based in the UK and what company? So we are Interface and we're Bitrix24 Gold Partners. So we're located in the UK, where I'm based at the moment, and we're based in Doncaster, which is close to Sheffield. We also have an office in the US, and we also have an office in Dubai. And we can answer any questions that you may have. We can do demonstrations for you to show you all the tools and the uses of Bitrix. And we also provide premium support. So if you have Bitrix and you're struggling to use some aspects of it, we've obviously got this session to every Thursday at 10 o'clock to answer any questions. But if you needed more, then we have ticketing support, and we also have premium telephone support as well. So those are some of the services that we offer. Our details are up there. I can come back to these at the end. So if you're thinking of using this CRM platform, please do get in touch with us. Like I say, contact details are on the screen. Okay, so I've got, can we create a custom field in a deal and add it to a CRM form? Yes, certainly. I think you may have seen me do that, but like I say, you can customize Bitrix essentially in the CRM in terms of the fields that you create by an unlimited amount. So you can add as many fields as you want. If we go into the CRM again, click into settings, click into form and report settings, and click into custom fields, and click on add field in a deal. So let's just call this Thursday Bitrix, and we'll have a string. So we've added that in the deal, so that would show if I showed it in the deal. Go into the CRM forms now and go back into the Bitrix24 live one that we just created here. You can then, on the right hand side, when you're creating these web forms, you basically have access to every field that exists within any of the modules. So if I click on deal and scroll down, you should be able to see Thursday Bitrix. I just click on that there, then you'll be able to see Thursday Bitrix. So yeah, you can add any custom fields that you create into your form, which I think is quite a powerful element, especially when you're using these forms on your website to generate leads or generate inquiries. the data that you want to collect is quite essential to your business, obviously, and you can put them on the forms. So let's get rid of that one. One of the good fields, I'll get rid of that one as well. One of the things with the forms as well is that you can have conditions. So if we said source, we can see a drop down. So if you've got any form of choice you're giving the customer to fill in, so on here, we can actually, if we scroll down a little bit more and click on the more element, we can actually have conditions in the form that you're building. So if source equals website, then hide the company name field. So you can start building some conditions in your form to make sure that the data that you need for that particular inquiry gets added in to Bitrix when the form is submitted. So it may be that you have a product list. Well, what are you interested in? Are you interested in buying a website, a logo, a brochure? And then based on those three, whatever the person selects, then you can show and hide the relevant fields. So it's quite a good part of these particular forms. If you're on a paid version of Bitrix, then you can remove the signature if you wanted to. You can then, on any version, you can style it up however you wish. So you can use your own CSS styling, and you can have redirects to URLs once they've been passed, so on and so forth. So it's quite a good aspect to generate leads inside the system. So we've got, so we're talking to Damien. Yeah, so Damien's usually with me. He's not in the office today, so I'm on my own. But yeah, so if you're talking to Damien, Damien will be able to give you any information that you may need. See if we've got any other questions. I'll come back to the Bitrix24 sites in a little bit. It's quite a big module inside Bitrix. Oh right, sorry. I need to create a site that is a subdomain of the self-hosted. Is there any limitation, and can you show me how to do this? So I can show you certainly how to do that. So let's go into our on-premise version of Bitrix. And for those of you that don't know what the sites are, it's essentially the ability to create your own site. It's a website builder. And it's available on the cloud package, and it's available on the on-premise package. And you can see here we have a number of different templates that we've already built. And if we click on Create Site, we have quite a wide range of templates already. So if you wanted to build a website for your business and you were doing, let's say, photography, then we can click on it, and you can see on here, once it loads up, you can see on here what it looks like. So it's quite a good template to use in this case if you're interested in selling photography as your services. You can see in the example as well, we can attach our widgets. So we can put a live chat widget on there, and we can give it a little bit of a colour. So instead of black, we can have red, blue, and you can see it styles it up and puts the links in here. So if we click on Create, I'll show you what you asked a moment ago, is how can you put it on a subdomain. So once I set it, then it's quite simple really. If you go to Settings and Site Preferences, then you can see here it says site address. If I wanted it to be on my own domain, it's as simple as, let's just say, photography.interface.com. And it's as simple as that. You just type in your subdomain of your main site, and then all you would need to do is go into your host where interface.com is been purchased, go into your DNS settings and add that CNAME record value to the DNS settings and photography.interface.com. So I think we already have one set up, and I think we call it cakeshop.interface. Maybe we called it that. Yeah, we did. So this is an example of a Bitrix24 site that we created just as an example. Cakeshop.interface.com, and you can see we've got a widget on here and so on and so forth. And you can style them up. This is an example of one of the templates, and you can embed your CRM forms on here as well. So just going back to your question, yeah, just use your own domain and type in the full subdomain. It doesn't matter if it's on your domain that you're hosting. So we've got portal.interface.com as our support portal, but we've obviously got demo.interface.com, and we've also got Cakeshop. So we can have as many subdomains. Just point the subdomain to the site. So hopefully that helps. So one CRM question: how do private Outlook emails not get captured in the CRM? At the moment, it's quite, you can't do that, I don't believe. I think once you've integrated your email, so going into the email inside of Bitrix is, you can see in here we have interface.demo and we have our mailbox connected. So for the CRM integration with your email, if you just go into the little gear icon in the top, click on mailbox settings, then you can click link to CRM, and the way that it integrates is essentially if somebody emails you that exists inside your CRM, then it will get, Bitrix will check to see whether they exist as a company or a contact or a lead. If they do exist, it will take a copy of that email and put it onto that particular contact's activity stream. So if I open up a particular contact, I'm not sure if we've got any in here that's connected, but I can double check. So we'll go into here, and you can see in here, if Andy at intraface.com was to email intraface_demo@outlook.com, it would take a copy of that email and put it into the activity stream on the right hand side. If I was then to send an email from, if I use Outlook for example, I don't have to send it or look at it inside Bitrix, so it's all done externally if you don't want to use the webmail inside Bitrix. But if you were to then email a particular client from Outlook, so if I was to email Andy at Intraface back, he would then again take a copy of that email and put it into the contact inside Bitrix. So it's only the contacts and companies that exist with the emails inside Bitrix that it connects to and takes a copy of. It's essentially at the moment an all or nothing. I think you may be able to have a blacklist who you could ignore. The only other way so people don't see contacts and companies is to do with CRM permissions. So it's internal, say HR. If they don't exist in the CRM, then it won't make any copy inside the CRM at all. So in fact, we've developed, or I think we're close to finishing it off actually. If we've created a rule inside as a business process inside the CRM that checks to see if it is an internal email. So let's say, for example, Damien at Intraface emails Andy at Intraface, then it checks and it will, if that contact existed with that email address, it knows that that domain is private. So if it's internally, yeah, certainly we can put a restriction on that with a process. You couldn't do it on individual contacts in the CRM now. So internally, yeah, you can certainly use a process to stop that. So hopefully that helps. So we've got around about 10-15 minutes left. I'll just put our contact details back on the screen. So please do ask any questions again if you do have any. We are here every Thursday at 10 AM Eastern Time to answer any questions that you may have. I have maybe one more question to cover. Let's have a look. I feared that private emails could be seen at other CRM users. No, we can certainly, for internal emails, yeah, we can certainly stop that happening. No problem. Let me just see if I've got any more questions that have come through. I've got a couple of common questions that people tend to ask on Bitrix, just even simple ones of getting users into the system. So how Bitrix works essentially is if we go into the employee section, then you should create a company structure for your departments, because this part of Bitrix essentially can create it's used in a number of different areas. It's used in communication, so you can send communication solely to the marketing department, so everybody within the marketing department would get a particular message or a file or something similar to that. So that's one use, it's the communication side. The second and probably the most useful in terms of Bitrix is the permission side. So let's say, for example, one of the most common ones is we have sales regions. So we have UK sales. Let's add a new department and we'll call it in fact, let's move this. Let's just move this under the sales department. That would make more sense. So we've got the sales department, and then we've got UK sales. We'll add a new one, and we'll call it USA sales. We'll call it US sales. And we'll call that the sales department. So what we can do, essentially, in Bitrix is the people that are in UK sales can only see all of their leads for the UK sales department, so they can see all the UK leads, they can see all the contacts for the UK sales team, all the companies, all the deals, all the quotes, and all the invoices. And that's really useful because you're essentially separating the CRM up into two in our case. So we would set it up to UK sales and US sales. Members in each department would not be able to see other members. So if I bring Corey into there and Joe Smith into that particular section, then Corey would not be able to see Joe's, and Joe would not be able to see Corey's leads, deals, companies, contacts. So if you do have any questions on that, I can show you about how the permissions say. But yeah, it's essentially how the departments work. So communication and permissions are the two reasons you would set up all your departments. And then finally, just one of the common ones is inviting users. So again, click on, in the cloud version, you can just simply go to the employees if you've got the permissions to do so, click on invite users, and it's invite employee. Choose your department, so we can invite them straight into the sales department here, UK sales. And we simply write their email address and put it into, give them some text. Click on invite, they'll receive a link, click on the link, and they'll be able to get straight into Bitrix. And they will automatically be placed in the department, which is good. So if you do have your CRM permissions set up in that way, then you would be able to, they would go to the CRM and automatically pick up those CRM permissions. So it's quite handy to do. If you ever want to get rid of anybody that exists on your system, again, another one of the common questions that we get is you can't actually delete them if they've been active on the system, because you can imagine if they've been involved in tasks or if they've been involved in any communications. If you were to flat out delete them, then you're going to get some gaps in your communications, in your tasks, in your comments, and you don't want to do that. So how it works is, if I wanted to get rid of Jake Rankin in this case, click on dismiss, and it would basically make them deactivated from the system. So if they came and tried to log in to our site, it would just say that they've been locked out. They no longer can access the site. So it is something that's quite handy to know. On the on-premise version, it's slightly different, but if anybody does have any queries with that, I can show them. Essentially, you go into the control panel, the user list, and you can deactivate them from there. So sorry, you didn't mention if there were any limitations on sites for subdomains. So, I mean, you are on the on-premise version of Bitrix, so there's no limitations. So you could create as many sites as you like. You can create an unlimited amount of sites. If we go to Bitrix, I think there are some restrictions depending on what version that you're on. I think if we go to pricing here and show the full chart, let's have a look. So I think on here, if we click on, I'm not sure where it will be in terms of, let's have a look. Yeah, I think that, yeah, there's quite a lot of features in here. Actually, oh, there you go. So the standard version, so the free version of Bitrix, you can only create one site. You can create unlimited web pages on that particular site. If you're on the Plus, then it's going to be 5. If you're on Standard, 10. And if you're on the Professional, it's unlimited amount of sites you can create. So you can see the differences as well here. If you've got the free version, you have 5 gigs free storage. Remember the Plus, 24 gig worth of storage, 100. And there's features like that all across. So Bitrix, for those of you that don't know, starts as a free version. It does have obviously some limitations in terms of some of the key features, some of the cool features that you have on Bitrix, but essentially you have access to a lot of features for free. But there are obviously, again, the number of users that you have, you should take into consideration with what packages that you want. So it will start with 12, and then again it will go up to the unlimited version. So it comes in both a cloud version, which you can see here. Free's got 12 users, Plus 24, Standard 50. And then you have the on-premise version, so that goes up to 12 users, and then you can choose the business 50, and you can see here. So these are a one-off fee. So it may be that if you don't want to pay monthly, these are a one-off fee in terms of the license costs. And then you should also think about if you want to get, you also got to think about hosting costs. So a partner can do that for you. A partner can host Bitrix on their hosting, and you would pay an annual charge for hosting. And then you've got to think about any premium support that you want. We would always recommend for you to take out, if you're taking out, especially if you're taking out the on-premise and the professional version of Bitrix, then we would always recommend to try and take out a premium level of support, because these packages do have a lot of complex aspects to them, and it's handy to always be able to pick up the phone and speak to somebody with any questions that you may have. So those are the different versions. If you are interested in any of the versions and you've got any questions about them, please do get in touch with us and we can answer any questions that you've got. But essentially, I think in terms of, just got a question just popped up, so we've got a couple of minutes left, so I'll end on this one. So can you expand on the premium support? Yeah, certainly. So premium support is offered by partners, well, some partners. We certainly offer premium support. It's an annual fee, so depending on what license and how many users that you've got, then essentially what you have access to is a partner like ourselves. You can call us if you've got any questions. You can Skype us. You can submit any tickets on our system. We have an SLA that we respond to any support questions very quickly, and we can jump on your system and fix any issues that you may have. So it's something that we offer. Like I say, I'm not sure if any other partners do, in all honesty. So I know Bitrix, if you do take the cloud version of Bitrix, they do offer their support. They've got a little chatbot now on the right hand side. So you can submit your support questions through to them if you did need any answers. But that's the difference with previous support. You get to actually speak to somebody. We build relationships with all our clients, so we know what they're using it for, any customizations that they've had, and we can help along the way. So hopefully that explains it. But like I say, I think coming to the end now, so I'll just leave our contact details on there for a moment. We are here every Thursday at 10 AM Eastern Time. If you subscribe to the Bitrix YouTube channel, then they will just drop you an email to tell you that we're going live as soon as we go live on the Thursday. And we also do webinars every Monday at 11 AM Eastern Time. And on the webinar, we solely focus on a key area of Bitrix. So last Monday was focusing on the telephony side of Bitrix. And I'm trying to think what's on Monday. I think it might be the sites module that we focus on completely. So again, pretty much like we do on Bitrix Live, it's actually held on GoToWebinar. So you can register for webinars on either interface.com/webinars, and you can register on there, and again you'll get a link to click on to go and visit, and you can ask any questions on there as well. So we are here to help as much as possible. Consider it like a free hour of support on Thursdays, so build up your questions and we can answer them each Thursday. And again on Mondays we focus on some of the key modules as well. So thank you very much for your time. If you do have any questions in the week, get in touch with us. If you want them answered next, for me to start with them on next Thursday's session, then email live@interface.com and I can answer them first by kicking off next week's session. Okay, so thank you very much, and we'll see you on Monday for the webinar or next Thursday. So thanks.